Hi, my name is Kevin Mitchelluk. I am the co-founder and chief operating officer of Mobile Nations. And if your team is like mine, you probably find yourselves communicating more and more with tools like Slack and Hangouts and email and Skype, but getting less done. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 ways that we fixed communication in our company. Despite growing my team by over 40% last year, we found we just weren't getting that much more done. So we solved the problem by rolling out a new Mobile Nations communications handbook, which has made a massive change to the way we work together to get things done. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 highlights of those changes, and at the end, you'll be able to download this handbook for yourself. Here's the thing, communication in the workplace is expensive. If you're sending and receiving messages all day long, you're not working. And if you are heads down on something and you're getting interrupted by messages coming in, it can take you up to an hour to get back into the groove. Tools like Slack and Google Hangouts and Skype are obviously fantastic. You know, we have a company of 80 people spread out through the world, and because of these tools, it feels like we all work together. It used to be that we never saw each other for years. We'd send emails or do phone calls. Now we meet and we're like, what, this is the first time meeting? The game has changed. But now we have the opposite problem. We over-communicate. We can't get anything done because we've become really selfish with our messaging. It's so easy to send messages that we send them all day, whenever we want to, and we give very little respect to the recipient and what they're doing because we're not actually seeing them in the room. We're geeks about tech, and we're actually geeks about how we run Mobile Nations. We're constantly trying out new tools, new procedures, new policies to make us work together better as a team. Here's the 5 highlights of what we changed this year that have made a huge impact in how we work. Number 1, we made the distinction between real-time and on-your-own-time communication, laying out some rules around what type of messaging has to happen right now. It goes in Slack, it's real-time, and things that can, wait for later on, which can go into email, and you can check it when you get to it. Number 2, speaking of email, we actually started sending emails again, but much smarter emails. Using tools like Timio, we're able to assign clear expectations around what type of action is needed from an email and when it needs to be done by. Number 3, we introduced company quiet time. So every morning for about 4 hours, we basically make an effort not to bug each other on Slack. Slack becomes a ghost town. If we need to send a message, we'll do it through email. This really helps the entire company focus on getting stuff done. Number 4, we actually got smarter about how we use the tools. So when it comes to something like Slack, it's full of features and it's easy to use them and sometimes abuse them. But by laying in consistent policies across the company, we're all slacking smarter. For example, we set up dedicated rooms for official company announcements, which is very different than our water cooler room, which is for, casual banter. If something is really important and needs to get communicated company-wide, we put in announcements fully knowing we're going to disrupt everybody on the team when we hit send. And finally, number 5, we brought back accountability through email. So one of the problems we had with Slack is that we were constantly assigning tasks and introducing new projects there, and in the long thread of conversation, they just got lost, and it was hard to go back and find who was supposed to do what. So whenever we kick off a new project, we start by sending out an email. It very clearly assigns people in charge of what has to get done. Same thing, when we do video calls, we always take notes and we send an email after the call, saying what got done. It goes to everybody who was on the call, to the managers. If that email doesn't happen, that meeting didn't happen. That may have sounded a little bit corporate, but it really made a big difference in how we work together at Mobile Nations. We're getting more done during the workday, which actually gives us a little more free time in the evenings and weekends too, which is really the goal we're all striving for. So if you want to learn more and deep dive into these topics further, hit the link below to jump over to our Mobile Nations Communications Handbook. I really hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching.